Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and, you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't stub it on me, though. I'm not there. Well, you did this one,
You could practically hear Rogan's distinctive tone come into play as he witnessed Gervonta destroy Davis's newly bulked up physique prior to the Jake Paul bout. Partly in awe, partly in a state of scientific disarray.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and it's like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. He finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
On his podcast, Joe didn't waste time sugarcoating.
Joe didn't waste time sugarcoating it on his podcast. After watching Tank's latest training clips, he said, "Dude looks like he's been forged in a powerlifting lab." And he's not wrong. Tank's shoulders are massive. His frame bigger than Ryan Garcia's, like a bull ready to charge. Rogan broke it down, explaining how the extra muscle might boost Tank's power, hip torque, and punch speed instead of slowing him down.
Interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
Joe said Tank isn't just built to box. He's built to explode, comparing him to a modern Mike Tyson. He joked that Jake Paul is crazy to expect a points fight, saying Tank's coming to finish early. Rogan praised his evolution, calling this the peak version of Tank Davis.
He got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he does.
After Joe Rogan's wild take on Tank's new bulk, calling him a mini Mike Tyson, we move to Wade Plemons' breakdown, where it gets even deeper. It's clear this isn't for show. They're building a strategy. Coach Calvin Ford studies Jake Paul's every move like a scientist, noting every "that could hurt" moment. This isn't casual sparring. Tank is sharpening his skills, perfecting angles, and mentally locking in for total dominance.
Serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, you know, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying? But we had hiccups.
I'm not just talking cardio. Tank is targeting the body to slow Paul down, making every step feel like wading through molasses. This isn't about highlight punches. Under Ford, it's chess, precision, angles, and pacing designed to neutralize a bigger man's reach and control the fight.
Guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when he's probably Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have.
Jake's guard drops. Tank attacks the body, and fatigue turns into opportunity. This looks less like an exhibition and more like a title defense. With Calvin Ford's guidance, Tank isn't showing off. He's planning a takeover and ready to expose Jake's weaknesses.
Ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. I'm just, that's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, very, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with some, hurt.
Lamont Roach Sr. is now openly calling out Gervonta Davis's business moves, saying Tank skipped a rematch for a Netflix deal. He joked that boxing has turned into a YouTube thumbnail thanks to the Jake Paul fight. Imagine telling an old school fan that Tank Davis is fighting the guy who used to pull pranks at Target.
It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you got to do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, get their coaches and sparring partners. They go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next.
Roach said it straight. You can't chase money and ditch loyalty. Skipping a rematch for Jake Paul is like missing the NBA Finals for a celeb game. Jake can punch, but Tank's built different. This isn't content. It's a career risk.
So much more better than Jake Paul. And some people feel, well, Jake Paul is this big heavyweight that punches hard, and Tank's going to find out, do you feel like this is going to be an actual real fight just underneath the term exhibition? And do you see the fight playing out when someone gets hurt?
I don't even want to talk on that fight. So I can care less about what it is. It's an exhibition, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. He ducked that work. Yeah. He ducked that work.
After his dad's rant, Lamont Roach Jr. said it plain. Tank skipped the rematch for the Jake Paul circus. He called it a joke, saying Tank chose Netflix clicks over real fights.
Next fight versus Gervonta after this fight?
Who knows? He said he's retiring. I believe him. I think he's scared. So if he's going to retire, I believe he's going to retire.
You think he'll retire after the exhibition match?
I think so.
Why do you say that?
Because he's scared.
Sure, there's money in the Jake Paul fight, but legacy isn't built on TikTok. If Tank quits after this, it's like a superhero retiring mid-series. It'll be viral and costly, either genius marketing or the shortest main event ever.
On the Gervonta fight, the weight, the ounces on the gloves, 12 ounces, and then, Calvin was asking him to get the 10s. What do you think about that? And people who don't understand that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their fight per se. I really don't care. I don't care about their.
This fight feels like a social experiment. Baltimore's fighter versus the internet's chaos king. It's art versus algorithm, legacy versus clout. Jake wants credibility. Tank wants impact beyond boxing. If Tank knocks him out, it's boxing reclaiming the internet. But if Jake lasts, it could become the most hated win in combat sports. Either way, this isn't just a fight. It's a battle for the spotlight.
Jake Paul is good enough where people say, oh, he's terrible. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. I don't care how a person feel about that. Fighters that started in their formative years, like we did, 8, 9, 10, we got too much time in. Jake will never catch up to that. He'll never catch up to that. We just got too much time in.
Both fighters are risking it all. One for greatness, the other for validation. When they clash, we'll see if authenticity beats the algorithm. Will Tank drop Jake fast, or can Jake handle the heat? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tommy Chanel.